second straight day, Atlanta, ground zero for competing vice presidential candidates. Vice President Republican nominee J.D. Vance was in Cobb County last night, and then tonight, Democratic VP nominee Tim Walz making his first solo stop in Georgia as the running mate to Kamala Harris.
Georgia, very important battleground state here. And Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn trekked through the city today with Governor Walz with less than 50 days, as you mentioned, Sean, until the election.
Vice presidential candidate Governor Tim Walz was in Atlanta for roughly 3 hours today. His message, it's all gas, no brakes, here to November 5th, just 49 days until Election Day. And we were there as he made a few trips, a few stops around Atlanta. One of his main points of emphasis, engage young voters here in Georgia.
So look, we got 49 days. We got 49 days to shape the next 40 years. We got 49 days to put freedom at the center of this. We got 49 days to do what so many of us in here, and me, for a lot of years have been waiting for. How great will it be to say hello, Madam President?
After landing in Atlanta, Governor Tim Walz's first stop was the campus of Georgia Tech. While he did not conduct any interviews, we were there as he spoke directly to students, calling on them to get out and register to vote by October 7th, the deadline to register here in Georgia. Today is National Voter Registration Day. He then went by Morehouse and the HBCU campuses in Atlanta. He recognized how much race is woven into Georgia. At Georgia Tech, he spoke of the influence of the late Congressman John Lewis, the namesake for the Student Center on campus.
It's for me, it feels special to be in here. I said I miss him. We were talking about, especially at a time when it seems like things are chaotic. John was like a rock.
And after 3 hours or so, Governor Tim Walz went back on a plane and headed to Asheville, North Carolina. Back-to-back days now here in Atlanta that we've seen vice presidential candidates, and this political pace is unlikely to slow down leading up to November 5th. From Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.